On October 16th, a road leader attacked a 2-year-old in a residential area in Chengdu. The tragedy reveals 3 problems. The first is regulation. Road wheelers are not included in Chengdu's stock breeding management regulations, which prohibits 22 dog species of high risk and aggression. We could at least partially attribute the incompleteness of regulation to its inability to catch up with the speed of growth of pet industry. However, should we then argue that perhaps it is the incompleteness of these regulations that is responsible for this incident? No, of course not. Undoubtedly, the owner must be kept most responsible. The dog was not kept on a leash according to the regulation of the Animal Epidemic Prevention Law and was not under any supervision of his owners. Here, the second problem is also revealed, that the owners is not trained and educated enough to abide by the laws. Many of them find ways to circumvent restrictions, and thus they're not educated enough, and the punishment is not enough to stop them from being irresponsible or lazy. Imagine if we punish those not putting their dogs on a leash as often as we punish those parking in the wrong places, or even those DUI. Would they still put others' lives in danger? A third problem is also revealed: selective and unregulated breeding. Bulldogs are intentionally bred to be more aggressive and larger in size, fulfilling the violent human desires. A specific type of bulldogs is the XL bulldog, the American bully, which is a typical example of the bulldogs, as well as the road leaders. The first image shows a bulldog called Kimbo. He is an American bulldog, XL size, and nearly half of the existing American bullies are his offspring. This Kimbo is a product of inbreeding, and his parents is basically siblings. And he passed his aggressive and unstable gene to more than 100 puppies. Due to the astonishing number of deaths that American Bully has caused in the UK, with 3 deaths already this year and 6 in 2022, the UK has decided to ban this species of bulldogs in the UK. However, the XL American Bully Bulldogs is already a product of hybrid practices of multiple generations, including the American Bulldogs, British Bulldogs, Old Scottish Bulldogs, and so on. Dog breeders only need to add a tiny bit of another gene from another species by breeding it with another type of large dogs, such as the King Corso, to produce a technically new species of dog with a different genetic code, but with its aggressiveness and danger remaining. When regulators intervene too late, the toxic trend could potentially be unstoppable. We must realize that the culprits of these incidents are not mainly on regulations, but also mainly due to the growing human desires and the corresponding growth of pet industry. Now let's talk about something less extreme. Have you ever just randomly walked on the street and just find people with their dogs, and then you just started to thinking, these dogs look so typical of that species, but why do they look so weird? Like, I was in Hong Kong, and I had to walk to school every day, and on my way, I would always count the number of dogs I met on my way. I mean, like, they are walked by their owners every day, and they should be fitter than I am. The extent of exercise they have is more than I have. And the King Charles Spaniels, their eyes are looking at different directions. One is right and one is looking at the left. And that doesn't look normal. But we are all kind of used to this weirdness, aren't we? It's almost like it's normal that a King Charles Spaniels have eyes looking at different directions, or large eyes, or short noses, and Labrador Retrievers are always rounder than other dogs, and Bulldogs have like short legs and big underbites. But these are actually unnatural, or put it in another way, they are not naturally caused. They are a result of human interference and artificial selection. to fulfill human desires and stereotypes of a typical dog of that species, or simply to please human standards, which are usually sick in a bad way. These typical features are being pushed to the extreme and are causing great pain and threatening the lives of these dogs. King Charles Spaniels, for example, are some of the most popular pets that are simply used to provide companionship. You wouldn't expect them to chase after a sheep, dragging their little body, because they look so small or too fragile to even chase after a chicken. A King Charles Spaniels is usually 30 to 33 centimeters tall, and a medium-sized chicken is 50 to 7 centimeters tall. But the breed is literally named after Spaniels, which is hunting dogs. Isn't that a little bit weird? Well, it is. This breed is created to entertain humans, only to entertain humans, and rather than for hunting. Human breeders have, for centuries, selectively bred toy spaniels for certain traits. King Charles Spaniels is originated from the breeding of English toy spaniels, which breeds from Asia. Its name originated from the fondness of King Charles toward this species. These dogs appeared in the court paintings and companioned the king himself to state meetings. The traits that the king loved so much to see in these spaniels, long muzzles, and then small eyes and red and white coloring, are actually different from what's popular nowadays, or even after he died. By the 1800s, a fascination toward Asian breeds, such as the pug and the Japanese chin, led humans to adore King Charles Spaniels with short muzzles and black-brown coloring, but the preference of small body size remained thereafter. In current days, people still value this trait when selecting this breed, and thus causing unscrupulous breeding practices. Some people, when wanting to breed King Charles Spaniels, but without enough Spaniels available, would perform inbreeding, which basically means breeding the Spaniels with related genetic relationships, brothers, siblings, and even parents to daughters, to ensure that their offspring contain their preferred traits. My biological teacher talked about his King Charles Spaniels, and his Spaniels suffer from quite a lot of genetic illnesses. One of his Spaniels have a nose that is so short that it can hardly breathe because it is pushed over generations of selective breeding. And it's so short that it can hardly breathe. And then there are other problems, such as the dry eye syndromes, cherry eye, joint problems, and such as hip dysplasia, and they have abnormally red eye. And these are all caused by malpractices in breeding, inherited from their parents, and in some not so rare cases, inbreeding amplifies these problems. And genetic problems is not only limited to King Charles Spaniels. Labrador Retrievers, German Shepherds, Border Collies, Golden Retrievers, Bulldogs, and Folk Cats, they all have their problems. We might also see videos of folk cats online. They look very cute. When cubs are small, they usually have folded ears, but when they grow up, as they have enough calcium intake, their ears usually erect up. But some folk cats are intentionally bred to not have ears that will ever erect up, such as, and they will cause cartilage dysfunctions, failures of skeletal development, respiratory diseases, and heart diseases. These diseases will start impacting the folk cats as young as 2 months old, and in some cases, these diseases will cause deaths of these animals. Usually, we applaud the growth of the industry, but this pathological growth of human standards and the pet industry need to stop. Other than purely catering to human taste as pets, the high demand for working dogs also causes genetic disorders. German Shepherds and Labrador Retrievers are some of the most commonly used dogs as police dogs and service dogs. To fulfill its demand, the breeding industry grows and bring about the growth of recessive genetic disorders. For German Shepherds, after generations of false inbreeding, most so-called purebred German Shepherds suffer from diseases called ataxic gait, which causes feeble hind legs. For Labrador Retrievers, the ones with mutations of POMC genes are favored in the selection of police dogs and service dogs, as they are more hungry and they want treats more so that they are more active in training, causing them to lose a sense of satiety. In other words, they are hungry at all times and they will eat whatever they have in front of them. The growth of these species of service dogs population can help human population indeed, but careful regulation and remediation should be taken place to prevent these creatures which help the human society development from further physical suffering. Existing ways of remediation, as stated below, includes setting restrictions on what species of dog we can keep as pets in certain areas, like in Chengdu's regulation of pet breeding. But the flaws are also obvious. Stan Rollinson, an expert in dogs, proposed to prohibit certain dogs with certain traits, such as dogs with wide mouths and over-aggressive attitudes. But regulation should not only be set for how to control existing dog species, but how to prevent these dogs from being bred in the first place. That is, laws should be set to prohibit certain breeding practices and to penalize who break the laws. There are some examples that we can learn from. In the UK, a license is needed if one intended to breed 3 or more litters and sell at least 1 puppy in a 12-month period. This greatly improves animal welfare. The UK Kennel Club has its own calculator on its website where prodigy dogs can be matched for suitability for breeding. If the inbreeding coefficient is too high, it is advised that these dogs do not breed. And in the US, California has announced that from 2019, January 1st, a pet store operator should not sell a live dog, cat, or rabbit in a pet shop unless this animal was obtained from a public animal shelter or agency or organization in a cooperative agreement with at least one private or public shelter. A violation in the law would result in a fine of $500. To maintain a sustainable future for dog and animal species, education and improvements in laws are still needed to control the growth of a natural status and the desire of animals with certain traits. In conclusion, the excessive growth of human desires in the pet industry has led to the unnatural standards and selective raising practices that harm the well-being of our beloved pets and companion animals and service animals. From the distorted physical traits of dogs, breeds for companionship, to the widespread of genetic disorders in the working dogs, the consequences of these practices are evident. It is crucial that we acknowledge the impact of our actions and work toward a responsible breeding practices, proper regulation, education to ensure the welfare of our pets and prevent further suffering. By promoting sustainable growth and prioritizing the health and happiness of our companion animals, we can create a safe future where pets and humans can live together, and pets can naturally thrive and be cherished without compromising to their well-being. I guess what I want to say is, when you are looking for a pet, do not have too much standards on whether it's pure breed or not. You should try to adapt it from a shelter or stuff, and also when you're walking them, please put them on a leash. Yes, thank you so much.